Can't stand what you do. I will never be watching. Oh, sorry a second. Hello, recruitment. Hello, mate. How are you? Yeah, I'm alright. I've got a couple of people up for the job if you want it. Yeah. Oh, you got a new club. Right, what's the club? Is it Salford again? Because they have about 7 managers a season, don't they? Leeds United. Guys, welcome back to the channel where you are with me, Scoops Callaghan, where we are using Football Manager to predict the next manager of Leeds United, where currently Bielsa is the second favourite to be sacked, the next manager sacked in the Premier League. And we thought, do you know what? Let's look at the odds. Let's look at who the favourites to take the job and see how they get on. Let's have a look at the club as an overall and see what they're predicted to do this season with the board. Player entertaining football, player attacking football, already got that under Bielsa. Developed players using the club's youth system as well. You know, they're already doing that really well. So pretty much, I think what they're looking at, if they are for replacing somebody to have a similar methodology that Bielsa has. You've also got a Premiership top half finish, which is matching what they did last season. Reached the 5th round of the FA Cup and reached the 4th round, the Carabao Cup. You know, a cup that nobody cares about. But you know, that gives us a brief overall of that. But let's look at our first candidate for the job. First candidate for the job is no other than Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard has recently been sacked by Chelsea in January 2021. Before that, he was managing Derby County. He's got nicknames known as Fat Frank or Lamps. Is he the right fit for Leeds United? You know, he's known for using his youth players, bringing them through because he's had to do that in his first season with Chelsea. But as well as that, he did that with Derby as well, and also as well making use of the loan market with the likes of Mason Mount in his squad. You know, he's an unproven manager. He was linked to the Norwich City job earlier in the season, but could he be the right fit for Leeds United? Here we are, scenario 1, end of the first season, where Leeds United are currently sitting 16th in the English Premier Division, and Frank Lampard is no more. So a good start to our scenario save, where we're currently seeing Frank Lampard was sacked on the 27th of February after 237 days in charge. 13 games won, 12 games drawn, and 11 defeats, which looked like, if you look at the schedule, was a decent start. He had a really good start as the Leeds United manager with a 3-2 win against Spurs away from home, and unbeaten for the first 10 weeks of the season before they lost to the eventual winners Liverpool 3-1 at home. Again, run of form wasn't bad. They're just drawing a lot of games, very similar to what's happening now. Just can't seem to hold out to get a result. The big note of this season was actually after January, they just couldn't win a game, but they got to a Carabao Cup final where they lost to Chelsea 2-1. So you know, again, Frank Lampard over-retrieving there, but it looks like his league form cost him his job as well. Because if we look in the Premier Division, you know, Leeds United finished 16th, but if we have a quick look at how the past division positions look, you know, currently at that time when they went to the League Cup final, they were sitting 16th in the table where they were expecting a top half finish. So Frank didn't really achieve massive amount at the club. You know, let's have a look and see if he signed any big signings as well for Leeds United. The only signing of note for Leeds United this season was Rafinha from Paris Saint-Germain for 6.5 million with the potential cost of 8 million with the add-ons on the contract. It didn't have a massive impact in the squad. If we look at the squad overall, one real thing that we can note was with the style of play Frank Lampard played, we had a lot of players scoring, but you know, the strikers didn't perform. I know Patrick Bamford, he only played 19 games, scored 9 goals. Rodrigo got 10 goals. Jack Harrison had a season and a half, which probably see him move on. 41 appearances, 10 goals, 9 assists, so a cracking season for him. But it looks like the goals were coming across from a large number of people. Calvin Phillips, 8 goals, 8 assists. He's had a decent season with a 7.26 rating across there, and pretty much their player of the season with Rafinha as well, just behind him. So you know, there's a lot of players there, but it looks as if that they were just struggling for goals, and that mid-season run of form cost Frank Lampard his job. So all we can say is Frank Lampard a right fit for the Leeds job? No. Let's go on to potential candidate number 2. Second candidate is respected George Zampala, who's secured his return to football by managing Marseille and succeeding Andre Villas-Boas in March 2021. He was a respected figure who earned admirers for the impressive team he built with Chile before succeeding Unai Emery at Sevilla and then managing Argentina's national team. He's another disciple of the revered Marcelo Bielsa, who himself built the most exciting of teams at Marseille during his 2014-15 season. Here we are, scenario 2 with George Zampala as manager of Leeds United, and I'm happy to say we're at the end of the season and he's still manager. He's still managing the club, which is great to see, and also a cracking 7th place finish in the Premier Division, which is an achievement as well, which I think potentially has secured them. Oh, you're joking. They missed out on European football just, and Arsenal in 8th place have sneaked the Europa Conference League spot. But a 7th place finish for Leeds United is a massive result for them as well. If we have a look at the Leeds United fixtures and see how they got on, the first thing I noticed as well with this is the poor start he had. Started off in the first day of the season with a 2 undefeated away at Burnley, and then luckily got his first win against Watford, a 2-0 win, and he didn't get another win until the 23rd of October against Brighton, a 1-0 win, where I actually saw some heavy defeats against Man City, a 2-0 defeat to Everton, but, you know, a tough start. But the second half of the season, they kicked off and started playing some good football. As you can tell, after a 3-0 defeat to Manchester United, that was their only defeat in December. They beat Liverpool at home, drew with Tottenham, beat Leicester away, and then big wins against Southampton and Watford as well, which saw them do, you know, and as well with this full run, saw them finishing 7th in the Premier Division. If we have a look at the past positions with Leeds United, let's have a look at this. Sorry, I was just looking down there. As you can tell, the slow start put him down to 18th, which probably put him under a massive amount of pressure as well, especially when they're expecting a top half finish. But then gradually results started to pick up and his style of play came in, and you know, a 7th place finish. They didn't actually get up to 6th, and they actually only lost the 6th spot, which is actually a shame because they would have secured European football. But a 2-1 defeat against Southampton. Was it 2-1 defeat? Yeah, 2-1 defeat against Southampton, and a 3-2 defeat against Leicester caused them to finish 7th place, which isn't bad. But let's have a look at the squad, see how the squad got on this season, see if there was actually key differences to under Frank Lampard. Did we have any goal scorers? Rodrigo, 16 goals picked up there, and Rafinha as well with 11. Patrick Bamford only played 6 games, 25 sub appearances, but 5 goals, 1 assist. Again, the goals, there wasn't a massive amount there, but if you look, Melier had 11 clean sheets in the Premiership, which is decent enough for a Leeds United side. But yeah, goals, there wasn't a massive amount there as well. Did they have any key signings as well? Any key signings? There's a couple there. There's a couple of signings actually. Musa Wagu, if that's how you even say it, apologies for murdering names, signed in from Barcelona, a right wing back to get to his 5-2-3 style of play. Luca Pellegrini from Juventus for £1 million, and then Corley as well from Ludogorets as well. So 3 signings there, which probably helped him, especially in the second half of the season. If we look at the schedule again from January, apart from the defeat to Man City, from that defeat, they only had 5 defeats in the Premier League, and they were against a good Chelsea side, a good Liverpool side, another good win against Manchester United. But then that last month really let them down. You know, 3 wins there. If we look at the Premier League table there, 3 wins. You know, if they'd won those 3 games against an easier side, they would have been up into 6th, potentially challenging for 5th. So you could say that Sampaoli's had a really good first season in charge of Leeds United, and is there potential there for him to actually get the job? And would he be a good candidate as well? I think he's an option 100%. Not a massive difference between him and Bielsa. As they say, he is a disciple of Bielsa. Bielsa really rates him as well. He could be a really good fit for the club. So hopefully he is a potential option for Leeds United. So with Zampala being a potential and a good option for the club, let's see who number 3 is for our potential replacement. Third candidate for the Leeds United job is Marcelo, current manager of Athletic Bilbao, a man who's worked his way up through the Spanish ladder, starting at Sporting Gijon as the B team manager and then leading on to actually get the full-time role of the first team in 2003-2005. He's gone on to manage sides such as Racing Santander, Zaragoza, Sevilla, Villarreal and Valencia, where he's currently at Athletic Bilbao. He's known for a very simple style of play, a 4-4-2, with some adventurous styles, a pressing style of football, and then actually moving from a defensive position for a quick counter-attack to nick some goals here. Is he going to be a potential replacement for Bielsa? Let's find out. So here we are, scenario 3 of Leeds United after Bielsa, and we are here again at the end of the season, and Marcino's still in charge, and he's led Leeds United to a 5th place finish in the Premier Division with his adventurous 4-4-2. Look at this, 85 goals for and 55 goals against, but a 43% win ratio as well. It's been a successful season under Marcelino. Let's have a look at the schedule. It started off with a 2-2 draw against Arsenal and a 2-2 draw against Norwich, and finding out, without winning the first month, before then going to beat, first win at the end of September, which was a 4-1 win against Aston Villa, but that's when it started. Again, a lot of draws at the first half of the season, but some big results. A great 2-2 draw away at Man City, that's always a good result. A 3-2 defeat to Tottenham away isn't a bad result, but looking at the results, they won games that they should win. So they're beating teams like Burnley, they're beating teams like West Ham, Brentford. They were losing against Manchester United, and obviously lost a cup quarter final against Chelsea. Got knocked out in the 5th round of the FA Cup, but they were winning games. Again, an April and May slip off, which is probably a very similar characteristic to Leeds United. We always said when they're in the Championship, they would go and bottle it, wouldn't they? That last 2 months of the season, they only picked up 2 wins out of 8 against Watford and Brentford, and a big defeat against West Ham. Big sides there. But a Premier, with those defeats, a 5th place finish. Let's have a quick look at the squad while we're here and see. Look at this. This style of play here has worked an absolute treat for Patrick Bamford, a player who really struggled to get in the first 2 scenario sides and actually score goals, only getting 10 for Frank Lampard, and also I think he only got 5 for Zampala, but he scored 28 goals for Marcelino with 6 assists, and then Rodrigo in 2nd place with 14 goals, which is a great return for the 2 strikers in his 4-4-2. Let's have a quick look. It is a 4-4-2, which you'd love to see. Look at that, Rafinha with 16 assists, Jack Harrison on the left with 9 assists, and again, something really key there, Melier with 15 clean sheets in the Premiership, which is a great result for them. Well, it could be in other games as well, but 15 clean sheets this season is great for them. Let's have a quick look at the Premier Division as a whole. Them finishing 5th spot, 58 points. So they were a large 14 points behind 4th place, which is Chelsea. But they finished above Arsenal, Tottenham and Newcastle. Newcastle obviously going to be up there. But a Europa League finish and place for Marcelino. We'll get there in the end. Marcelino shows that, he's got the calibre, he's got the ability to actually get them moving on. Let's have a look at goals. Patrick Bamford's joint top golden boot with Cristiano Ronaldo, which is massive. Average rating, Rafinha was only second to Mo Salah with 7.72, and Rafinha was top of the assists as well. Clean sheets wise, is he anywhere to be seen? Is Melier there? Is he anywhere? He finished joint 6th with 10 clean sheets, which is great, only behind David De Gea as well. So, overall, Marcelino looks like the best option so far for Leeds United. If we have a quick look at their overall past positions as well, a slow start where very much the other side has been a good start and then losing it halfway through the season. But they didn't move from 5th spot from the 12th of December, which is unbelievable considering they only won 2 of the last 8. So they must have been well ahead, and they must have been up challenging the likes of Chelsea for the fourth spot. Because if we look at Chelsea's last couple of months, yeah, look, they picked up results. The last 8 games, they've picked up a large number of wins there. So Leeds have really missed an opportunity there of actually getting into a Champions League spot and into the top 4 of the Premiership. But overall, well done that man. Marcelino, he's been the best one so far by far, with the potential of a 5th place finish. No cups, but the board will be really happy if he can do that, and definitely a good replacement for Bielsa. So let's have a look at our 4th choice, which is going to be a bit of a surprise. I'm not going to lie, it is going to be a bit of a surprise. So our final candidate, and number 4 of the bookies' favourites, is no other than Mr. Leeds United, Lee Bowyer, who is currently managing Birmingham City in the Championship, but previously managing Charlton Athletic for 3 years and leading to promotion in that famous 2-1 win against Sunderland at Wembley to get them into the Championship. He's known as a very direct style of play, very not similar to Bielsa and any of the other managers that we've actually had on this episode. So something a bit different. Is he someone that could achieve at Leeds United, or is it one step too far for a Bowyer ball? Our final bookie's favourite is in, and we're at the end of the season, and again we've got a manager in charge, and Lee Bowyer is still at Leeds, and he's led them to a 6th place finish with his direct style of football, his 4-2-3-1 wide, which is a lot, different to what we're used to in the last 3 scenarios that we've had. But a 6th place finish is nothing to grumble about, especially under Lee Bowyer. Let's have a look at the schedule and see how they've gone. A great start to the season with a 1-0 win at West Ham, a 2-2 draw against Leicester, and a 3-1 win at home against Arsenal. Only losing 1-0 away at Man City was a decent result for them as well. But again, as we're seeing here, apart from the odd defeat here against Brentford, at the beginning of the season, they were beating teams that they should be beating, and that style of play was working. They did hit a bit of a blip from the December. They won 3-1 away at Manchester United, which is a massive result for Leeds fans. A 1-1 draw against Liverpool and a 2-1 draws against Aston Villa, which they should probably be picking up 3 points for. Then a real mid-season slump, which probably stopped them from finishing higher than 6th. Again, end of the season, they were okay. They lost an FA Cup quarter-final against Arsenal 3-0. They also lost a Carabao Cup quarter-final as well to Tottenham. But overall, a very good season for Leeds. And let's have a look at their past positions as well to see actually how they did. They were there and thereabouts. A top half side is what they were doing, but they didn't actually go below 7th position all season, which shows consistency under Bowyer, which we actually hadn't seen for any of the managers before. Where with Lee Bowyer, you've had consistent results all the way through, but with Marcelino, Zampala, and Frank Lampard obviously losing his job in Feb, we saw a bad start or a bad finish to the season. But where Lee Bowyer's done is he's kept them consistently around the top half of the table, but also the top 6 in the Premier Division, which is a massive result for Leeds. Let's have a look and see who turned up for them playing wise. Again, let's have a look. No real, and that's one thing that we've noted is Marcelino got Patrick Bamford scoring, but apart from that, there's been a good spread of goals here. Rodrigo, 14 goals for the club. Jack Harrison, again, a consistent performer for all those players and for all those managers, sorry. Rafinha, again, another consistent performer. And then Patrick Bamford there with 9 goals, but he only had 17 starts. 9 goals, 3 assists. Klitsch, 10 assists. That's again, Melier, 12 clean sheets across the season. That's decent at this level. Really good at this level. Let's have a look at this. Again, star performer, and we know that for a fact. Lead star player will be Calvin Phillips, and he's there with the highest average rating across the season, a 7.27. So there you go. With that, transfer wise, who did he bring in? 1, Guridi from San Sebastian, 4.5 million. Did he have a massive input? Played 10 games for them. 10 games for the club. What's he got? An average rating in the Premier League was just 6.8, so nothing. It wasn't drastic. Didn't do a massive amounts for a couple. Is he in the starting lineup? No, he's on the bench, so he wasn't even playing. But again, that surprised me. That was a massive surprise that Lee Bowyer got them to a sixth place finish in a Europa League spot, which we wouldn't have expected because of the style of play that we had there. Again, is there anyone in here that's in the top stats? Anyone in here that we can note? Nothing in the top goals, obviously. Don't worry about mistakes leading to goals. Anyone with Leeds United there? There's nobody there at all. So really, it's been a consistent team approach, which you could tell by the way that Lee Bowyer manages. He kind of brings that atmosphere in, brings trust from the players, and hopefully, realistically, is he a candidate? No, I don't think he's going to get the job. You know, with the job he's doing at Birmingham, I don't think he's going to get the Leeds United job at this moment in time. Maybe in 3 to 5 years, if he continues to do a good job at that level, if there's an opportunity, yeah, he could be an option. But with the ethos and the ethics that Bielsa brings in and the other managers would bring in, I don't think he's probably a viable option at this moment in time. So let's look at our final option, which is going to be Scoops' special pick. And it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. And our final choice of Scoops' special is no other than Andre Villas-Boas. But we're going to stick right there because he got sacked after 12 games because he only won 2 games with Leeds United and survived for 89 days. So whatever you do, don't listen to Scoops Callaghan when it comes down to Football Manager and anything with recommendations of who should be getting the job. Looking at the scenarios, there are a number of good options there for Leeds United. Marcelino probably option number 1, with George Zampala in number 2. Lee Bowyer is an option and actually did really well in the stats, but it's too early for him. It's too big a job for him this early on. Maybe something in 5, maybe 7 years time as well. If you like what you see, if you like the content that I'm providing, just whack a like on the video. Also as well, whack a sub on there as well. I really appreciate it. You can find me over on Twitch on Sunday, Monday and Tuesdays at Scoops Callaghan 1, where you can come and join us and have a chat. But guys, thank you very much for watching. This is Leeds after Bielsa. Take care.